Welcome back, brother. Do you find it hard to talk to girls only because you're shy? I mean, you know that you're not bad looking and the only thing holding you back is your shyness? Well, that was my case. I knew I was attractive because I could see girls looking at me. I was just too scared to approach. In this video, I will tell you how you can talk to girls as a shy guy like I was. But first, let's start by understanding what shyness really is. It's a feeling of discomfort or inhibition in social situations, often causing a person to avoid social interactions. It's like that little voice in your head that screams, "You're a pussy," when you're about to make a move. You're not alone in this, my friend. Shyness is a common issue affecting many people, especially when it comes to talking to someone they're attracted to. It's a part of our human nature, a protective mechanism that kicks in when we fear judgment or rejection. But here's the good news. Shyness is not a life sentence. It's a habit, a pattern of thinking and behaving that can be understood and, most importantly, can be overcome. With the right mindset, tools, and a dash of courage, you can navigate through the stormy sea of shyness and find your way to confident conversations. So, sit down, subscribe, and watch the video. Now that we've got a grip on what shyness is, let's dive into some strategies to help you navigate through it. The first thing you need to do is initiate conversations with strangers. This is something you can do on a daily basis to be more comfortable talking with people. So, when you talk to a cashier or a waitress at a restaurant, ask them about their names and how their day is going. I used to force myself to talk with all my Uber drivers and I ended up having some really good connections. The goal here is not to have long conversations, but instead getting more accustomed to engaging with strangers. Once you become more comfortable with having conversations, you can start approaching girls. Now, when it comes to starting a conversation with someone you like, a casual greeting is your best bet. Smile, make eye contact, and say hello. It's simple, but it's effective. It shows you're open and friendly, and it's a great way to break the ice. Once you've said hello, the next step is to keep the conversation going. Here's where open-ended questions come into play. These are questions that can't be answered with just a yes or a no. For instance, instead of asking, "Do you like this book?" you could ask, "What do you think about this book?" The difference might seem small, but it's significant. The second question invites a more detailed response, a chance to share thoughts and opinions. It's a conversation starter, not a conversation ender. Also, a key point to remember when initiating a conversation is to stay genuine. Don't pretend to be someone you're not just to impress. Authenticity goes a long way. People appreciate honesty and authenticity more than a fabricated persona. On the same note, be interested in what the other person has to say. When you show genuine interest, you're not only encouraging them to open up, but you're also showing them that you value their thoughts and opinions. This, in turn, fosters a deeper connection. So pay attention when she talks and be ready to react. This could be a question related to what she just said, or a comment that shows you understand her point of view. And lastly, don't stress if the conversation doesn't flow perfectly right away. Conversations, like anything else, get better with practice. So don't be too hard on yourself. Take it one step at a time. Remember, the key to initiating a conversation is to be genuine and interested. The next thing you can do is to practice in front of a mirror. If you're really socially awkward, it can be hard to even approach strangers without being nervous. If that's the case for you, it's completely fine. You just need to put in more work and efforts to become natural. So look at yourself in the mirror and try to have a conversation with yourself. Now, I know you probably think that it's weird as fuck, and honestly it is at first, but I promise you that if you stick to it, you will become better. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you can see your gestures, your hand movement, your facial expression, and your overall demeanor. All you need to do from there is to make adjustments, to make sure that you look less awkward and more confident. Often it's not just about what you say, but how you say it. Your body language can communicate your feelings and intentions more powerfully than words. Here's some tips to improve your body language. Firstly, eye contact. It's a powerful way to show your interest and confidence. When you're speaking, try to maintain a steady gaze. Now, there's a fine line between maintaining eye contact and staring, so aim to strike a balance. It's okay to break eye contact occasionally, especially when you're listening. Next, consider your stance. Open body language is inviting and shows that you're comfortable in your own skin. Stand tall, with your shoulders back and relaxed. Avoid crossing your arms or hunching over, as it might make you appear defensive or anxious. Now let's address your hands. Use them to express yourself, but be mindful not to overdo it. Natural gestures can add dynamism to your conversation, making you appear more engaging and expressive. Moving on to your facial expressions, a genuine smile can go a long way in making you appear friendly and approachable. It can lighten the mood and make the other person feel at ease. Mirroring is another subtle yet effective technique. It involves subtly matching the other person's body language, gestures, and even speech patterns. This can create a sense of rapport and make the other person feel understood. However, remember to keep it subtle. Overdoing it can come off as mimicking, which can be off-putting. Lastly, respect personal space. While it's important to be open and expressive, ensure you're not invading the other person's personal space. Maintaining a comfortable distance shows respect and consideration. Incorporating these tips into your interactions can make a significant difference. They can help you project confidence, show your interest, and establish a connection. Next, stop trying to predict the future. If you are like most guys, you are probably paralyzed because you always imagine the worst-case scenario or overthink what you need to say to keep the conversation flowing. Well, in addition to asking open-ended questions, you can open by sharing something about yourself. It can be a hobby, a favorite book, or even a movie that you love. Then observe how she responds. Does she light up when you mention a certain band or when you talk about your love for hiking? That's a good indication of a shared interest. Also, don't be afraid to ask her directly about her interests. You might say something like, "I've been trying to find a new book to read, any recommendations?" Or, "Do you have any hobbies that you really love?" Once you've found a common interest, use it to fuel the conversation. The goal here is to create a connection, a mutual understanding that can lead to deeper, more meaningful conversations. So, don't just focus on the interests you share, but also on how these interests make her feel and why they are important to her. However, remember to relax. Start with the desired outcome in mind. For example, if your goal is to take her on a date or get her Instagram, visualize her giving you her contact info. It will boost your confidence and make your body act as if you already got the desired outcome. I saw that technique in a dating book and it worked wonders for me. So, what if things don't go as planned and you face rejection? Let's be honest, nobody likes to be rejected. It stings, it's disappointing, and it can sometimes feel downright embarrassing. But here's the thing, rejection is a part of life. It's not just you, and it's not just about talking to girls. It happens to everyone in all walks of life. Now, it's important to understand that rejection doesn't mean failure, it's merely feedback. It's a sign that something didn't work, and it gives you the opportunity to reflect, learn, and improve. So instead of letting it deter your future attempts, let's look at how you can handle rejection positively. Firstly, don't take it personally. When a girl rejects your advances, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. There could be a multitude of reasons behind her decision, many of which have nothing to do with you. Perhaps the timing isn't right, or she's dealing with her own issues. It's crucial to remember that her rejection of you is not a reflection of your worth. Secondly, use it as a learning experience. Ask yourself, what can you learn from this situation? Maybe you rushed things, or perhaps your approach wasn't quite right. By reflecting on what happened, you can identify areas for improvement, which will help you in future interactions. Thirdly, maintain a positive attitude. It's easy to get discouraged and start doubting yourself after a rejection, but remember, everyone faces rejection at some point. The key is to keep a positive mindset. Believe in yourself and keep trying. The more you put yourself out there, the better you'll get at handling rejection and the less it will affect you. Finally, remember to be respectful. If she says no, respect her decision. You can't force someone to feel the same way about you. Respect is attractive and shows maturity. Remember, rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It's a stepping stone towards improvement. So don't fear rejection, embrace it and learn from it. So there you have it, a step-by-step guide on how to talk to girls. If you're shy, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that it's going to be easy. It took me some time too, but if you follow this guide in the long run, it will be worth it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, it's not about perfection, but rather progress. It's about building confidence, one conversation at a time. With practice and patience, you can overcome shyness and form meaningful connections. You've got this. See you in the next one.